Greetings everyone, and this is Connor from DagoraC TV, and in this video we're asking, should the Thalmor be featured in the Elder Scrolls 6? Okay, so this is another Elder Scrolls 6 video which is adding to the horde of them that I'm collecting up right now, and I've been making quite a few and I'm planning to be making many more. So if you want to go and check out the playlist, click the annotation on the screen right now. If you're on a mobile device, click the card that you can click on at the top right hand of the screen. Okay, so the reason I'm making this video is because I've got a lot of comments about the Thalmor on Reddit posts, tweets, and comments on a lot of my videos saying that of mixed things. You know, some want them in, some want them to forget them, some want to go away from Tamriel completely and ignore the Thalmor threat or the Armor Dominion threat, whichever way you want to put it. And I thought I'd make a comment on this, as you know, this is something that I'm kind of interested in, this argument, this debate amongst the Elder Scrolls community. Okay, so at the Thalmor at the minute after Skyrim is finished, we leave at a point which is really deciding, you know, the Great War. As Skyrim, really, in the Great War at this moment in time, we join right after the White Gold Concordat, which was signed to kind of bring peace on the war that is happening between the Empire and the Thalmor, the members of the Armor Dominion. And the Armor Dominions are the guys in the south, the elves that are kind of rebelling against the Thalmor and want to kind of fight back and, you know, kind of build a land for themselves. As you can see on this map on your screen right now, the Armor Dominion have, you know, a real strong effect on Elsewhere, Valenwood and Somerset Isles, predominantly the Somerset Isles and Valenwood. Elsewhere is kind of in an in-between state right at this moment, as it's split into two kind of provinces, Alaquina and Palatine, which has got some political background, and there's another reason why games should be set there, and check out that video because it's a really interesting place, a really interesting province. But with the Thalmor, you know, they were kind of seen as the bad guys of Skyrim, as, you know, we had the whole civil war between the Empire and the Stormcloaks, and then you had the Thalmor kind of being the bad guys, you know, the whispering into the Empire's ear, you know, tell them all this stuff, you know, they were sneaking people in. We had to go into the, you know, the embassy, the Thalmor embassy a couple of times in the whole game, and things like that. And we always kind of got that vibe that, you know, these high elves are kind of dickheads, which is, you know, really one of the kind of straight up bad guys of the Elder Scrolls series that we've really had, to be honest with you. And I would like that to kind of be developed a lot more into a state, you know, where we could kind of learn a lot more about them, because a lot of the times with the Thalmor, yes, you could read about them in the game, but really, there was more spoken by in bad tones by a lot of the people, you know, who we met, like General Tullius, Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl Balgruuf. We talked to them about the Thalmor, and every single one of them slags them off, saying they're kind of the dickheadish. Whereas really, I would have liked to kind of have more of an interaction with the Thalmor, you know, speak to them, see their views, whereas really we spend most of our time either fighting them or hearing bad things about them or seeing them on their own and thinking they're the douchebags. You know, we didn't really get a huge fleshed out version of them, which I'd like them to be established in a future game, as, you know, the whole idea of, you know, cults and groups and guilds and things like that in the Elder Scrolls series have always been well established, well put forward, and with something that has such a big effect on Tamriel at the point of Skyrim, it wasn't really, you know, as fleshed out as we would have liked it, as I would have liked it to be in any way. I would have liked it to be much more, you know, kind of articulated a lot better to us, as we there's a lot to be said, and that's why one of the reasons why I believe that the next Elder Scrolls game will feature the Thalmor, and why I want the game to feature the Thalmor, because I want to learn a lot more about them, not just be reading in some obscure books, but to actually meet some higher up members of the Thalmor and actually discuss with them their views, see what they want to do with the province and the continent of Tamriel, and really build on the relationship that we could possibly have with them, as at this moment in time we can either have a relationship with Ulfric Stormcloak, who's all lords and all freedom of Skyrim, and you're not really going to get much out of him, or General Tullius, who's a much more interesting, you know, perspective to get out of, because he's someone who's working coinciding with the Thalmor, and really hearing how, you know, really hearing his views of how bad these people are, and that's kind of what's really implemented our thoughts on the Thalmor a lot of the time. Another reason why I think that Thalmor is going to be a part of, you know, or the Armor Dominion, the combination and the whole Great War thing is going to be as a part of the next Elder Scrolls game, is because I think the next one is going to be in Hammerfell, and I think the reason that Hammerfell being a province that's not fully under either the Empire control or the Armor Dominion control shows that they're willing to build on that more in this province. Maybe have, you know, a battle between the Dominion and the Empire together in Hammerfell, to decide which one takes control, or maybe even a third party of you trying to fight independence. And that again is another way to kind of build on this, find out more of what's happened in the years since Skyrim was set, and really build on, find some more information about and things like that. However, there is still the possibility of that we could have this huge gap in time between Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls 6 than what we had between, Cyrodiil and Skyrim, between Oblivion and Skyrim, sorry. As in Oblivion, we had this huge event, the Oblivion Crisis, a massive event that started off a whole new era. And then we met, 200-300 years down the line in Skyrim, which is, a long time of a wait, between games, and, a lot happened between then. There was actually published books in the real world that was been coming out, and we saw a lot there. This whole start, the whole Empire and Almere Dominion thing kicked on, from after the whole Oblivion Crisis, and we read about that. So there is definitely still the potential that this whole Empire War, this whole Almere Dominion threat, the Thalmor threat, everything could all have been decided in books, and all be, all done before the next game, and then articulated in books and elaborated upon in the books that we're going to be finding in the game. And if, the hardcore fans of the series can then go look at these and really learn a lot about what happened, which, for me, I think is a poor way to do it. I want to see what happens at the end of this. They've been talking about, in Skyrim, a lot about this Great War. This was a massive part of Skyrim, having this effect on Skyrim, on the land of the province, and I really want to find out what happens and not have to go tracing through a library to find out how it ended. I want to see for myself how it ended. I want to maybe take part in a big battle, maybe, even if it's just, maybe if it's going on to the dying days, finish the battle off, or maybe, we're ramping up to a point where we know that the Almere Dominion or the Empire is going to win, and then we don't really get that final conclusion until the end of the game. But I want it to come to either a conclusion or an almost conclusion in the next game, because they've left a lot of threads of story of what I'm particularly interested in. I know a lot of people aren't, but I really want to see how it's kind of built upon in the next game, and I've had a lot of support from that point of view, definitely in the comments section of a lot of these videos that I've made, saying they agree with me. They want to find out what happens at the end of this story. And, the beautiful thing about the Elder Scrolls series is that there is so many different storylines going on all at the same time. There's never just the one thing going on, We have the whole Dragon War, we have the Civil War, we have the Dark Brotherhood, we have the Mages Guild, we have a lot going on in the Sky, the Companions, everything, all of that going on at the same time. And as a player, we can make the choice of which storylines we want to follow, which ones we want to do, which ones we're interested in. You never really, you're led, to kind of go down the main story route and experience that, but that can be completely avoided. It's up to the player of what they want to do. And with the whole Empire Great War thing, I expect they'll do that, as another kind of major quest line in the game, but not a main story, something that can be ignored. And I think that's the best way to do it, so then the people who are not interested in the Thalmor at all can leave that to do that quest at a later time, or completely ignore that quest, to do it at whatever they will. Whereas the players who are interested can then go do that quest line first, like I will, because that is the area of Elder Scrolls lore which I'm interested in most at this moment in time. I want to find out what happens. I want to find out if the Almere Dominion, claim victory and rule Tamriel, or whatever happens. There's a huge political, battle going on, which again is another aspect of the Elder Scrolls 6 could sell a lot of copies. If they advertise a political intrigue as a warfare in the next game, because you look at what's really popular right now, it's political drama, House of Cards, Game of Thrones, things like that, even particularly Game of Thrones as, political medieval fantasy, which is really what the Elder Scrolls is, but not really without the political stuff. There's a bit of it in there, but nothing compared to the likes of Game of Thrones. And if they really build on that and advertise that and have a really good political story in there, with the different factions and everything, that would really sell a lot of copies and really make a great game, because a lot of people are really asking for that, to get a lot more of that, because we have that with The Witcher, but being able to take part in that more would be cool, would be great to do. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching this video, and if you want to comment on any other Elder Scrolls 6 area or feature that you want me to talk about, or any Elder Scrolls game or whatever, leave your ideas in the comments below, because I'll definitely look into making other videos on the Elder Scrolls series and the Elder Scrolls 6 rumours and speculation. If you want to like the video, then please do. Leave as many comments as you can. I always answer every single comment that I receive and love talking to the people that watch my videos. If you want to go a step further and donate, there is PayPal and Patreon links in the description below, but by no means is that necessary. Just like the video and watch it, that really helps me out. Also, please make sure you subscribe to follow any future videos in detail. Once again, thanks a lot for watching, and goodbye.